Hello, and welcome to Horrific Tales. In this show we celebrate the creation of independent authors and aspiring writers. Please like and subscribe and share these episodes so we can help our talented friends get as much exposure as possible. We would also appreciate it if you could support our artists by following them on their individual platforms and by purchasing their works. Details on how to do this are in the episode description. In this horrific tale, an extraterrestrial being gets more than they bargained for after possessing a human. Join us now as we present An Earthly Experience by Gibson. I hear the humans say I'm in a coma. That is only partly true. This human vessel I've entered is lying on a bed, hooked up to beeping machines and devices I do not recognize. Fear grips me and I don't want to be here. I need to return to my planet, Zoron. I fell into this world they call Earth purely by accident. We were heading to another galaxy on a mission to rescue one of our planets from an encroaching battle, when suddenly we took an unexpected turn. A disruption in the system, sending us spiralling and pitching, and we ended up diverting through the Milky Way's asteroid belt, crashing into Earth's atmosphere, obliterating the craft. When finally I landed, my essence was absorbed by this vessel I am now in. For our voyages, we leave our bodies attached to an apparatus called a sympod, so only our essence travels, making it easier to pass through other realms, dimensions and planetary systems. Something unusual is going on inside this body. I can't explain it. I says it has something to do with human emotions. Zeronians don't feel emotions, so I recognize these are coming from somewhere deep within this human being. Some type of liquid sporadically drips from its eyes. Around me I hear humans communicating. Their voices and their language are very strange to me. Doctor, his heartbeat is regular, and I've also seen some tears. Other than that, there still hasn't been any movement. Have the police found out who it is yet? No, they are looking into missing person cases. Thus far, they haven't got back to me. Do you think he will wait soon? It's hard to say. His vitals are good. His brain seems to be functioning. Give it a bit more time. I'll go and check if the police have returned my call. I hear a door close. It's loud. Sensing finally I am alone, we open our eyes, but close them tight again because the light is too bright. It hurts this body. Pain. I've heard the humans communicating about it. I have gathered by their words that pain is something humans feel. Hurt and pain are bad for this species, but is necessary for them. This is how they distinguish if there is something wrong with them. Zeronians don't feel pain or hurt, so this is an enigma about humans that we do not comprehend. One of them said they were about to prick me with something sharp, to see if I could feel this pain they were talking about. I felt nothing. Nothing is another concept I do not understand. Pain can be something, or it can be nothing. Pain is hurt. Very strange indeed. When finally my eyes adjust to the light, I can see functionally. I assess the environment. The light I thought was a source inside this little box they call a room is actually coming through some sort of shield to the outside world. It must be their sun. We learned about this planet Earth back home in Zoron. They teach us about other galaxies and planetary systems, for knowledge and to gain vital information. Earth is on a lower echelon, and is one of the many recycling planets. When humans die, their energy or spirit is born into another vessel. They call it reincarnation. We call it recycling. Due to humans being unaware, they will never know this about themselves, nor their real purpose for existing. Humans believe they are alone in the universe, and that other species like ours don't exist. Though they are getting very close to discovering the truth, they never will. Unless we are ordered to save this planet from total annihilation, we will never venture here. Though we are not under any obligation to intervene, when the moment comes and humans need our help, a decision will be made by the Universal Councils. Humans have weapons that can destroy themselves instantaneously, much the same way as other recycling planets have perished, due to their inability to work out their internal conflicts. Travellers have been ordered to stay away from Earth. It is strictly prohibited. If humans were to realise our existence on this planet, they would imprison and experiment on us. Worse than that, they could find a way to use our travel crafts and their technology, giving them the ability to cross over into other realms. If that were to happen, it would be a disaster. They could destroy our planet. We know the humans are capable of creating, but they also have the destruction gene to destroy. I want to go home, back to Zoron. There is too much noise here. Fortunately, I'm able to understand the human language, most probably because of the vessel I'm immersed in. The humans return to the room, and I close my eyes again. Yes, we're certain it's him, Doctor. His name is James Hill. He's been missing for 1 week, and his wife is on her way now to see him. Super! That ends that mystery. Good news all around. His brainwaves suggest he might wake at any moment, but definitely within a day or two. Then you can take a statement from him. But as you can see, he is in no fit condition to answer any questions. Just yet. Of course, Dr. White, I understand. The wife, Madison Hill, she's been frantic with worry. When he didn't return from his early morning run, she called it in and filed a missing persons report. As you already know, the first 72 hours are the most vital stages of finding a missing person. Any time after that is like searching for a proverbial needle in a haystack. It's very fortunate they found him when they did. Yes, he was quite a mess when they brought him in. Someone found him near death in a scrub around a golf course. But the good news is he didn't suffer any long-term effects from the hypothermia, other than this temporary coma. He was unconscious when the paramedics brought him in. I wasn't in a coma, James was. The impact from me colliding into him affected his body to where he was only able to crawl into a bush, hidden in amongst the trees. We lay out there in the cold. I could sense his vessel was dying. Would I die a human death too? What would happen to my essence if this vessel were to die? Would I be stuck here for an eternity, waiting to be saved? My mind was a racing mess. My thoughts scrambled. James is waking slowly inside his mind. I hear his thoughts. He is trying to comprehend what has happened. They say his wife is on her way in. I don't know what to do. I'll have to wait to see if any Zeronians come for me. Our eyes are heavy. James drifts off to sleep. His body is still unwell. You found him. Where was he? My God, this is amazing. I thought that something terrible happened to James when he didn't return from his run. He didn't take any identification with him, and he'd left his cell phone at home. We are startled awake by a loud voice. Our eyes spring open without my consent. James is responding to his wife's voice. I feel the touch of her skin, and it shoots shockwaves through us I cannot explain. It's almost like the way us Zeronians communicate. We have a sacred symbol called a Zeroglyph above our eyes that we use to greet one another. By merely touching each other's glyphs, we are able to communicate our thoughts, ideas, and personal information. With our eyes fully open, their lips touch. It momentarily stops our breath. I've never felt anything like it. The liquid that was falling from our eyes before is flooding down the side of our face. This is brilliant progress. He's responding to you. And look, you woke him up like Sleeping Beauty. You certainly have a strong bond. We'll keep him in for a couple of days to assess and monitor him, then you can take him home. I bet your kids will be excited to see him. We have all missed him dreadfully. We've been besides ourselves with worry. A few days later, and now we are travelling in a vehicle slower than I am used to. This is a strange concept. On Zoran, our vehicles fly, and don't travel so low to the ground. Apparently we're heading home to the family. I have assessed that home is a place they live in, and family is James's wife and children. Madison is driving. We pass huge buildings, houses where humans live, and other unrecognisable structures. There are long vehicles called trains. Madison mentions that James rides it to go to work, and that a storm damaged one of the tracks. Back home, we learned about this perception of work humans do, to make money to survive, because they need to eat. The source, the one that made Earth, gave humans that desire inside them. It is what gets them to do the things they do. It keeps them productive. If they didn't have this pre-programmed into them, they would die off, which of course is inevitable with recycling planets. One day their sun will be their ending. Each planet has been programmed for one thing or another. On Zoran we are programmed to protect, defend and rescue. Due to the fact that humans are lower beings, their consciousness haven't adapted, developed or enlightened to the higher selves. They use only a small percentage of their brain capacity, and they will never reach full comprehension until the fifth dimension merges with their third. The idea that their fourth dimension is the centre of their Earth will not be realised until the dimensions are all merged to where they should be. It's a dimension only a few enlightened humans have ever reached. There are creatures that were once banished from Earth. They made the fourth dimension to save themselves from extinction. Finally, the vehicle stops at the house they call home. We follow Madison inside. I hear something loud to our ears. It shocks me, but it propels James forward. I cover our ears from the overwhelming shrieks and screams. I can sense Madison looking at us strangely, so I remove our hands from our ears. When we enter a room, two children come running, and it scares me. We back away. There are no children on Zoran. We have no need for these beings. Something is happening inside us. I feel a surge of warmth. It's a comforting feeling when they wrap themselves around our legs. James scoops them up and holds them to us. Warm, salty liquid streams from our eyes. James seems to have taken over, which is good and unexpected. I can sense our emergence into one another is getting stronger the longer I am in James's body. I am becoming James. But I am also Orwenazon. We are named after the place we are from, Zoron. Part of my name is in honour of our god Zorwin, who rules over our galaxy. Back home I am what humans call a doctor. I use magic and technology to ensure all Zoronians are operating properly. We have capsule mods that can sense any problems, and the machines fixes the defects. For ours we do human things. We eat, which is new to me. On Zoron we don't need food to sustain us, and we have no need for it in our physiology. But James needs food. We help to bathe the children, and their giggles make the edges of our mouth turn up towards our eyes. There is a feeling attached to this action that makes James happy. A building pressure inside our head. I sense it might burst, but it doesn't. So I gather that the opposite of pain is happiness. The rush of feelings leaves me momentarily stunned. Humans are a complicated race. They have feelings that make them react. This is a result of their source giving them the freedom of choice. Eventually we enter a room, towards a bed. James takes over again, and makes it right. We can feel Madison's skin against us, and it makes us tingle and swell. I can't settle, so we lay here allowing James's thoughts to process what is happening to him. At the same time my mind is seeking a way that I can return home. I wonder when my crew are coming to get me. I know they will be searching for me. They need me. I ponder the difference between our species. We have bodies too, but not like humans. Zoronians are much larger, and there's no difference within our species. We don't have individual personalities like humans do. We're all the same, equal. We do not die because there's no concept of time. Madison cuddles into us and we wrap her in our arms, making James feel safe. When she starts kissing us, we are overloaded and something inside our body wants to burst apart. Gently, we push her away. What happened to you, my love? Please tell me. I need to know. You've been avoiding the elephant in the room. You seem different, almost distant. I was jogging in the park that backs onto the golf course. I don't remember much. I was struck by something, maybe a fallen tree. I woke in the hospital when I heard your voice, like you were pulling me out of a trance. She whispers, I love you. I was so worried. I've hardly slept. Will you just hold me while we fall asleep? I'm so tired. The stress has been affecting me. I'm sorry. It's all I can manage as our eyes close. The night is dark and thick. The Earth's moon is up in the sky, full and white. I couldn't sleep, so we had to get up. We wander around the house in the dark, because I can see well without the light. I feel lost. James feels lost. I am stuck inside somebody else's body. And, although James is trying to close his eyes from exhaustion, I can't stop the thoughts pushing through my mind. My planet Zoron is beautiful. Although Earth has some good things going for it, it is a dreadful place, and there's too much chaos and noise. On Zoron we have many moons and many suns. The land is not hilly and rough like Earth. There are no built-up structures. There are no natural formations like rivers or oceans, forests or farms, and animals are native to Earth. Everything on Zoron is regimental. We are given a task to do, and it stays that way for an eternity. We live in towers that reach the sky. There is no internal war like humans have, with their weapons, destruction and devastation towards one another. We all get along because we have one purpose, and that is to function as a member of the Zoronians in a way that ensures our survival against other planets from other galaxies. If we didn't all work together, we'd fall into the grasp of another galactic force. We are the colour of everything around us. We change to adapt to our surroundings. We blend in a resting state we are invisible. We are in a room they call the kitchen, the place they make food, when suddenly there are bright lights beaming into the room. I don't know what is happening. Suddenly, we hear a voice inside our head, saying in my language to come outside, so we do. When we venture out, a beam of light hits us and we fall down. The grass is cold and wet beneath us. It is an unpleasant feeling. The voice is commanding. I enter the travel craft, so I detach myself from James as I am pulled into the air, into the craft. I watch as Madison runs out of the house. She leans over James, who is still lying on the ground. She freezes when she sees the craft. Her eyes are wide and her mouth agape. James sits up as we fly away, looking dazed. I am surrounded by my crew, though one is missing. Perhaps they didn't survive the crash into the Earth. Well, I certainly have a story to tell the others when I get home. We zoom through the sky and up into space towards the wormhole we are supposed to have gone through initially. Earth disappears from my view, and although I hated the place, I have learned so much more than they have ever taught us. Although the human race fight and many are lost, they have something we have no concept of: love. They love as much as they destroy. I can feel that love, and I will miss it. Even though I only felt it for a moment, it will stay with me forever. Well, we hope that you enjoyed our latest horrific tale. If you want to keep up to date with future episodes, then subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our social media pages. You can also give the channel support by visiting our merchandise store and picking up some of our items. We would also appreciate it if you took a moment to support our contributing artists, who very kindly lend their talents to the show. Check out the links in the description to see how you can do this. Well, that just leaves me to say, until next time my friends, keep it creepy, keep it horrific.